Tonight's story is The Rabbit's Liver. Let's begin.
The surgical suite smelled of vanilla. Not antiseptic, not the iron tang of blood Marcus had expected, just vanilla. Sweet and cloying, like birthday cake left too long in the sun. "Please, have a seat." The assistant's voice was soft, almost musical. Her name tag read simply, Vale. She gestured to a leather chair that looked more appropriate for a luxury hotel than a medical facility. "Dr. Weaver will be with you shortly," Vale said. Marcus lowered himself into the chair. His hand moved instinctively to his abdomen. 6 months. That's what the oncologist in Boston had given him. 6 months of watching his body devour itself from the inside out. 6 months of watching his daughter Claire's face crumble every time she looked at him. But Dr. Weaver had promised something different. A second chance, a new life. The door opened with a whisper of hydraulics. Dr. Weaver entered. She was younger than Marcus had imagined from their video consultations. Perhaps 40, with silver threading through her dark hair. Her eyes held a peculiar intensity. She wore surgical scrubs the color of bone. "Marcus." Her voice was warm, welcoming. "I'm so glad you decided to accept our offer." She extended her hand. He shook it. Her grip was cool and firm. "How was your journey?" she asked. "Long." He'd flown into a regional airport he'd never heard of, then driven 3 hours through increasingly rural terrain. The Institute was a sprawling compound of glass and steel nestled against a forest that seemed to go on forever. "Your assistant said this was a private facility?" Marcus asked. "The most private." Dr. Weaver settled into the chair opposite him. Her movements were precise, economical. "The Renewal Institute serves a very select clientele, Marcus. People who need what traditional medicine cannot provide. People who are willing to pay any price for life." The price you quoted was substantial. Marcus had liquidated everything. His retirement accounts, his late wife's life insurance, the college fund he'd been saving for Claire, $200,000 for a liver transplant with no waiting list, no questions asked. "And worth every penny, I assure you." Dr. Weaver leaned forward, her eyes held his. "But I want to be clear about something, Marcus. What we do here isn't just transplantation, it's transformation. We don't simply replace diseased organs, we renew the entire system. You'll leave here not just healthy, but better than you've ever been." Something in her tone made the vanilla scent suddenly overwhelming. Marcus swallowed hard. "When do we begin?" he asked. "Tonight, but first there's someone I'd like you to meet." Dr. Weaver touched a panel on the wall. A section slid open to reveal a window. Beyond it, Marcus could see another room, larger, more clinical. Examination tables and equipment he didn't recognize lined the walls. A young man sat on one of the tables. His legs dangled over the edge. He couldn't have been more than 25, lean build, runner's body. Dark circles under his eyes spoke of exhaustion or fear. He wore a hospital gown and kept glancing toward the door as if measuring the distance to escape. "That's Thomas," Dr. Weaver said. "He arrived 3 days ago. Like you, he was promised something he desperately needed." "Another transplant patient?" Marcus asked. Dr. Weaver smiled. For the first time, Marcus noticed how her teeth seemed just slightly too white, too perfect. "In a manner of speaking," she said. "Thomas came to us seeking asylum. He's been running from people who want to hurt him, people back in a life he's desperate to leave behind. We promised him safety, protection, a new identity, and a fresh start." "That's generous of you." "We help each other here, Marcus. That's what makes the Institute special." She turned from the window. "Everyone contributes, everyone receives." Her voice dropped lower on those words, as if reciting something sacred. "Come, let me show you to your room. You'll want to rest before the procedure." Marcus followed her through corridors that twisted and turned in ways that seemed architecturally impossible. The vanilla scent grew stronger, mixed with something else, something organic and wet that made his stomach turn. He tried to keep track of their route. After the 3rd or 4th turn, he lost his bearings completely. Their footsteps echoed off the walls. No other sounds, no voices, no equipment humming, just their footsteps and that strange vanilla smell. His room was comfortable enough. A bed with crisp white linens, a private bathroom, a window that looked out onto the dark forest. But there was no phone, no television. And when he tried the door after Dr. Weaver left, he heard the lock click into place. He told himself it was for security, for privacy. This was a cutting-edge facility dealing with questionable legalities. Of course, they'd be careful about who moved through their halls. But the lock was on the outside. Marcus pressed his ear to the door. Somewhere in the distance, he could hear voices, a murmur of conversation that rose and fell like waves, and beneath it, something else, a sound like breathing, but too rhythmic, too synchronized, as if dozens of people were inhaling and exhaling in perfect unison. He pulled away from the door, moved to the window. The forest was utterly black. No lights visible in any direction. He could see his reflection in the glass, a man who'd lost 30 pounds in 3 months, skin sallow, eyes hollow, a man who'd been so desperate to live that he'd wired $200,000 to a facility he'd only seen through carefully curated video calls. A man who'd told his daughter he was going to a medical conference and would be back in a week. The door opened behind him. Marcus spun around, his heart hammered against his ribs. Vale stood in the doorway. She was holding a tray with a covered dish and a glass of something pale and thick. "Dinner," she said, setting the tray on the small table by the bed. "You'll need your strength." "I'm not hungry," Marcus said. "Dr. Weaver insists." Vale lifted the cover. The meal looked like it had been prepared by a 5-star chef. Seared fish, roasted vegetables, something that might have been risotto. "The drink is a specialized protein supplement," she said. "It will help prepare your body for the procedure." Marcus looked at the glass. The liquid inside was the color of bone marrow. "What's in it?" he asked. "Nutrients, enzymes, everything you need." Vale's smile didn't reach her eyes. "Dr. Weaver has perfected the formula over many years. Many patients." "How many patients come through here?" "As many as are needed." Vale moved toward the door. "I'll collect the tray in an hour. Please make sure you finish the drink. Dr. Weaver will be very disappointed if you don't follow her instructions." The door closed, the lock clicked. Marcus stared at the glass for a long time. Then he picked it up, carried it to the bathroom, poured the contents into the toilet, and flushed. The liquid left a residue on the porcelain that looked disturbingly like congealed fat. He lay on the bed, not sleeping, just listening. The building breathed around him. That synchronized rhythm continued somewhere below, punctuated occasionally by other sounds, a door opening and closing, footsteps in the corridor, something that might have been crying or might have been laughter. At some point, exhaustion pulled him under. He dreamed of his wife, of the accident that had taken her 5 years ago. But in the dream, she was in an operating room. Dr. Weaver stood over her with instruments that gleamed like silver fish. "Everyone contributes," his wife said. But her voice was Vale's voice. "Everyone receives." Marcus woke to the sound of his door opening. Dr. Weaver stood silhouetted against the corridor lights, still in her bone-colored scrubs. "It's time," she said. "It's the middle of the night," Marcus said. The optimal time for renewal. The body's defenses are lowest. The acceptance rate is highest. She stepped into the room. Marcus saw that she wasn't alone. 2 orderlies flanked her, both wearing surgical masks. "Please come with us, Marcus. Your new life is waiting." He thought about refusing. Thought about demanding to leave, to call his daughter, to contact anyone outside this place. But what would he tell them? That a licensed physician was offering him an illegal transplant? That he'd come here willingly, desperately, knowing exactly what kind of operation this had to be? He followed them into the corridor. The hallway stretched ahead, endless, dark. Their footsteps echoed off the walls. The vanilla scent grew thicker, heavier. It pressed against his lungs with each breath. Beneath it, that organic smell, stronger now. The smell of meat left out too long, the smell of something rotting behind clean white walls. They descended a staircase, down, down. The air grew colder, the lights dimmed. That synchronized breathing grew louder, more distinct. He could hear it now, really hear it. Dozens of people, maybe hundreds, all breathing together, in, out, a rhythm that made his skin crawl. Dr. Weaver led him through a final set of doors. The surgical suite beyond was vast, spotless. Chrome and white tile reflected the harsh overhead lights. Equipment lined the walls, machines he didn't recognize, monitors displaying vital signs that couldn't possibly be human. A surgical table waited in the center, already prepared with restraints. Marcus stopped. "I don't understand," he said. "Why do you need restraints?" "For your safety. The procedure is complex. We can't risk any movement." Dr. Weaver's hand on his shoulder was gentle but insistent. "Please, Marcus. You've come so far. Your daughter is waiting for you to come home healthy. Don't you want to see her again?" Claire. God, Claire. She'd be starting her senior year of college in a few weeks. She wanted to be a teacher. She'd already lost her mother. The thought of her losing him, too. Marcus climbed onto the table. The orderlies worked quickly, securing his wrists and ankles. The restraints were padded but unyielding. Dr. Weaver adjusted a light above him. Marcus had to close his eyes against the glare. "I'm going to administer the anesthetic now," Dr. Weaver said. He felt the cool touch of alcohol on his arm, then the sting of a needle. "Count backward from 10, please." 10, his voice sounded distant. 9, 8. The room began to blur. 7, 6. Good, very good. You're going to sleep now, Marcus. And when you wake up, you'll be renewed, just like Thomas, just like all the others. What do you mean? The words came out slurred. What about Thomas? Dr. Weaver leaned over him. Her face swam in and out of focus. Thomas gave us his liver, Marcus, a beautiful, healthy, young liver. He was so desperate for protection, so eager to start a new life. He signed all the paperwork, consented to everything. Her smile was kind, almost maternal. "And now you'll give Thomas yours. A fair exchange. He gets to disappear completely. No more running, no more fear. You get to live. Everyone contributes. Everyone receives." "No!" Marcus tried to move. His body wouldn't respond. The drug was pulling him down into darkness. "No, that's not. I didn't." "You paid for a liver, Marcus. We provided one. The source is irrelevant." Dr. Weaver's voice seemed to come from very far away. "Sleep now. When you wake, Thomas will be in your body, living your life, and you'll be in his, buried in the forest, where all our donors rest. It's a beautiful system, really. Very efficient, very fair." Marcus's last coherent thought was of Claire, of the message he'd left her saying he'd be home in a week. She'd wait. She'd call his phone. Eventually, someone would answer, someone with his voice, his face, his liver, someone who'd tell her everything was fine. The darkness took him. Nothing. 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 Then pain. Not the clean pain of surgery. Something deeper. More fundamental. The sensation of being unmade and remade. Of having his very essence poured into a vessel that didn't fit. Marcus opened his eyes. He was in a different room now. Small, dark. The walls were close enough to touch on both sides. He tried to sit up, discovered he couldn't. His body wouldn't respond properly. Nothing worked the way it should. His limbs felt wrong, too long, too thin. When he tried to lift his hand, it moved, but the movement was alien, disconnected. A door opened, light spilled in. Vale appeared, carrying a tray. She set it down beside him. Beside the bed he realized he was lying in, though it felt more like a coffin than a bed. "Awake already?" She sounded surprised. "The sedative should have kept you under for another few hours." Marcus tried to speak. The sound that emerged wasn't his voice. It was younger, rougher, Thomas's voice. "What did you do to me?" "Exactly what Dr. Weaver promised. We renewed you." Vale checked something on a monitor beside the bed. "Your new body is adjusting well. The rejection markers are minimal. You'll be ready for release in a few days." "A release?" The word came out as a croak. "You said I'd be buried? You said—" "Dr. Weaver says many things to ease the transition." Vale smiled. "The truth is more elegant. You paid for a liver, we gave you an entire body. Young, healthy, with decades of life ahead of it. Thomas's body, and Thomas gets your old life, your bank accounts, your daughter, your identity." He was so grateful, Marcus, so eager to escape his old life, that he agreed to everything. He's probably calling your daughter right now, telling her the procedure went well. Marcus felt something crack inside him. "Claire, no, you can't." "We already did. Thomas has your face now, your voice, your memories, extracted and transferred while you slept. He'll be a better father than you ever were, Marcus. He'll actually be there for her, not dying, not desperate, just present." Vale adjusted his IV. "And you'll stay here in Thomas's body, living Thomas's half-life in our facility, helping us with other patients, other renewals. You have skills we need, business acumen, medical knowledge from your research into your own condition. You'll be very useful." "I'll tell someone," Marcus said. "I'll expose you. Who would believe you?" Vale laughed softly. "A young man with a history of paranoia and drug use, claiming he's actually a 58-year-old businessman trapped in the wrong body? Thomas's identity is perfect for our purposes. No one will look for him. No one will believe him. You're a ghost, Marcus, and ghosts don't get to go home." She left, the door locked. Marcus lay in the darkness, in a body that felt like a costume he couldn't remove, and listened. The building breathed around him. That synchronized rhythm, all the other renewals, all the other donors who'd paid for new lives and received new deaths instead. In, out, in, out, in, out. Dozens of them, maybe hundreds, all breathing together in the darkness. He thought of Claire, waiting for her father to come home. He thought of Thomas, wearing Marcus's face, sleeping in Marcus's bed, living Marcus's life. The perfect crime. The perfect exchange. Everyone contributes. Everyone receives. In the room above, he could hear footsteps. Dr. Weaver's voice, speaking to someone new. Another patient. Another desperate soul seeking renewal. "Welcome to the Institute," she was saying. "We're so glad you're here. Let me tell you about our process. It's really quite remarkable. We've perfected it over many years, many patients." Marcus tried to scream, but Thomas's voice couldn't carry far enough. It died in the small room, absorbed by walls that had heard it all before. He was just one more ghost in a building full of them, all breathing in unison, all waiting for their turn to contribute. The vanilla scent drifted through the ventilation system, sweet and cloying, masking the smell of everything else. Above him, the new patient was asking questions. Below him, other donors stirred in their coffin rooms, living half-lives in stolen bodies. And somewhere far away, in a house Marcus would never see again, Thomas was learning to be a father, learning to love Claire with Marcus's memories as a guide, becoming the man Marcus had paid everything to remain. The breathing continued. In, out, in, out! The building exhaled. Dr. Weaver began her familiar speech about transformation, about renewal, about the price of life and the currency of desperation. She'd given it so many times before. She'd give it so many times again. And in his narrow room, in his stolen body, Marcus closed his eyes, tried to remember what it felt like to be himself. But already the memories were fading, being overwritten by Thomas's past, the Institute's final gift, the erasure of who you were, leaving only what you'd become. Everyone contributes. Everyone receives. The vanilla scent grew stronger. Marcus breathed it in, his lungs moving in perfect synchronization with all the others, a chorus of ghosts keeping time in the darkness. In, out, forever.